right? And then I go on to say, I don't got time for the hate. I need more time in my day. I put the ice on my bay, yeah. You riding on me. I get my drip overseas. Niggas are hating on me, yeah.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Pieces and blessings upon all my Akhis and all my sisters out there. Welcome to Split Decision. I'm your host, Akhi. To my left is no other than
Professor Nims, the pundit with the PhD in pugilism.
You might want to say that again and put some more respect on your name for the ones that don't know, because that's a professor with a PhD degree in real life.
Pundit with the PhD in pugilism. Get it right.
So I just want to clear things up. I got in a car accident yesterday. You know, I had to ride away, but somebody from the side who had a stop sign, I guess he didn't see me coming. He was a good person. He made sure I was okay and all that. I popped my shoulder a little bit. You know, I could have, fall to him for that. But what goes around comes back around. You know, I think that was more so from me shadow boxing from back in the day. I popped my shoulder socket. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to throw that on him.
Yeah, just pay it forward.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They say,
so he admitted it was his mistake. I believe he probably, was under the influence of something, but it is what it is, So I appreciate everybody for, checking up on me, all my Akhis, Ox, whatever you want to call it, Migo. I appreciate y'all for, checking up on y'all brother. And for all the people that's calling me Baby Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying? I just want to clear up. I don't even drink, you know what I'm saying? And that's against my religion. So, it's okay. Y'all can hate. I'm going to give y'all more reasons to hate on me. You know what I mean? So, y'all know what time it is. It's split decision time. And time to educate all the casual fans. So, all the casual fans.
Vodka? That's not vodka. I thought that was a whole genre.
Oh, no. That's pure water, huh? Pure water.
H2O, baby. H2O.
We need a lot of that. So all the casual fans, it's a pleasure to have y'all here. We're going to teach y'all something new today. You live and you learn. Hopefully y'all learn something new. And one day, hopefully y'all will graduate from the Akhi University and become hardcore boxing fans. So in the Akhi University, we offer the Book of the Truth. And since people love to judge a book by its cover, we're going to paint a perfect picture for them. And when y'all do take the time out of y'all day to read the book, hopefully y'all have a better chance of graduating. Now in the Akhi University, we got
classes in session right there. Classes in session, baby.
Teaching for free. All you gotta do is subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't. And listen to these casual fans. Now shout out to Dante, salute. Shout out to DBN. Shout out to Dante for starting the new media movement. So shout out to my brother, and let's get straight to it. Now, let's just start with the reason why AJ will lose to Ruiz, in my opinion. Now, I heard and I watched the debate that DAZN put on their network. It was a great debate between Paulie and a lot of fighters like Froch and them. And they were like almost babysitting AJ. But I'm going to get to that later.
That's their country, man. So it's a natural reaction to try.
But man, that shit was depressing. Watching it was depressing if you were an AJ listening, because that could mess with his mental. But Hay revealed something that shocked me. He stated that AJ is doing technical sparring.
What's that?
That's what I'm saying. I had to research.
I thought it was sparring, and then it was like
apparently. Yard does the same thing. It's technical sparring, which is not real sparring. They work on their technique, which is...
I mean, sparring, you work on your technique, but what you do is you put yourself under more of a high-pressure situation, so you sharpen your tools and stuff. So they're kind of doing this pity-pat,
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing, to be honest with you. But you try to emulate a real fight as much as you can.
Absolutely.
And that's why sparring, you already got headgear, big gloves. So there's no point of technical sparring. Now, I understand if you're going to do technical sparring on the side, like you're going to do the regular sparring, but you're going to do technical sparring on top of that just to work on certain techniques.
I can do.
Yeah, I understand.
I can see that. I mean, and particularly so he was concussed his last fight in there. So we all
and that's the reason why they're doing technical sparring, so he could go in the fight fresh.
Yeah, and then you want to give the brain ample time to recover from that. So it's been, we're going on 5-6 months since that fight. So I can see it. I just call it like sparring in a sense. But if they're doing it to protect the fighter's health, I could see that. But if it speaks into a mental fragility that's there, then that might be an issue for AJ.
Yeah, and I believe iron sharper iron, like Errol Spence like to say. So when you go into sparring, you know, you already do drills for muscle memory. So if somebody throws a 1-2 and you try to do the shoulder roll, you come back, it's a muscle memory, right?
Are you catch and shoot?
You catch and shoot. So that's already the drills there for that. But the technical sparring, like I said, if you add it to, you know, to whatever you're doing, I understand. But if you cutting your sparring, your real sparring, and let's say the sparring partners that are most talented, that give you a hard time, that you probably aware that, hey, they could possibly hurt me in sparring. You're doing technical sparring with them. I don't feel like you're doing your best to prepare for the rematch, especially not mentally, especially not physically, where you're going to feel the intensity for 12 rounds. Because in a real fight, it ain't going to be no technical sparring. When Ruiz is in front of him the whole night, pressuring him, that pressure drains you out. And that's why he's losing all that weight. So instead of
so much muscle mass, because every time you do that, you got to get oxygen to all of those muscles. So the bigger the muscles are, the more oxygen that it takes. The more oxygen that it takes, the more issues that you're gonna have with your conditioning.
Well, no disrespect to AJ, but he looked like a healthy crackhead right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? He leaned out, which I'm gonna see if it's gonna help him out or hurt him. But he fought like that in the Olympics. But the problem that I'm having is, instead of doing all this running or whatever cardio you're doing to prepare for the fight to have more stamina, since you have stamina issues, you need to have a real sparring or the closest thing to a fight as possible, so you could feel the intensity for 12 rounds in case you want to build up to that. Now he can't even build up to that because he don't know how it feels to.
And it's different though, because say that you go and spar 12 rounds. That, and if you do it straight, that does not necessarily mean that you can go and fight 12 rounds. So one of the trainers that I had, he said, man, usually you need to be able to do about 4 times as many rounds as you're going to actually fight, because it's different. There's different people. Like Floyd's probably not that case, but once you go into a fight, particularly, like, there is different
pressure. The
pressure that you're doing.
The light is on you.
So there's some anxiety. There's some other. You got family. So there's a lot of things that you're doing and like dealing with. So it's actually like you need to be able to go beyond those 12 rounds.
You need to probably be able to do 18 rounds.
Exactly. With different sparring partners, like after every 4 rounds, bring in another fresh person. Exactly. Like you should be sparring like that.
And you should be feeling fatigued. In the sparring match, in case you do get fatigued fighting. And AJ, we already know he get fatigued multiple times. During the Klitschko fight, he got fatigued. He did. In other fights, he did. And in the Ruiz fight, he could never recover. And it took him 4 rounds, and he still couldn't recover. So I don't know what this technical sparring is that the UK fighters started doing, but they need to pick back up on the real sparring and going, hard 12 rounds, 15 rounds, 18 rounds, like pretty boy Floyd, because iron sharpen iron. And like Floyd, for example, when he fought or sparred Errol Spence leading up to the Guerrero fight, we know Errol Spence is a better fighter than Guerrero. Even with 6 fights, he probably gave him better work than Guerrero. So Floyd Mayweather fight night went against Guerrero, and he like, man, it ain't nothing that I haven't seen. Exactly. Matter of fact, my sparring partners, I had tougher sparring partners than
the actual fighter. Yeah,
and like I said, you got to be able to perform under pressure. When the light is on you, it's different. And that's where the rumors came out of him having a panic attack and all that, hurt during sparring. So if they are excuses, then he need to get his mental right. If it's true and he doing technical sparring, it ain't hurting. It ain't helping his case. So like I said, I'm not a fan of technical sparring unless you adding it to the roster.
Exactly.
But if you
if you are taking away from your actual sparring to get that in, to maybe they're building his confidence. I'm not sure what the strategy is.
Well, the strategy is for him to be fresh during the fight.
Okay.
And like Yard does as well. All right. But I just believe you ain't.
And those are 2 fighters who clearly
get fatigued.
Get fatigued, that are heavily muscled, that are doing. So that's them to know. But with that said, so you're saying that the reason that AJ would lose, so part of it is just not good preparation because of the technical sparring. So where we started?
Well, I believe it ain't good mental preparation because,
Yeah.
like I talked about this round table that they had. If I'm AJ and I'm listening to them, it's depressing because I gotta hear them talk about, oh, you know, they bringing up every excuse in the book, and then someone will talk about, oh, Ruiz was just a better fighter, and AJ being mentally not there, listening to his idols or whatever, he probably listening and he's all over the place mentally, and that's where I believe Ruiz will have the upper hand because, man, he mentally strong, and he already took AJ best punch.
And the thing about Ruiz is that he is. There's a term that it was like, you know, I'm playing with house money, you know, in a sense, because Ruiz wasn't expected to be here. He wasn't anointed like AJ was. So there was this big coordination that we were going out for AJ. And then so he, you know, had this issue with Ruiz. He wasn't supposed to be here. He doesn't have the great build, the great body. He doesn't have this great machine behind him. He hasn't done 80 to 100,000 in Wilmington. But what he does, he was born to be a fighter. He's been doing it. It's second nature to him. And mentally, he is. I think he is levels above. Yeah, I think he's levels above.
So next topic, since we talked about the reason why AJ is going to lose, let's talk about what AJ has to do to win the fight, because, you know, this is our prediction in a way, but I believe you said you got Ruiz winning the fight. I do too. Do you?
Yeah.
Just to confirm.
I am. So I do. I've been going back and forth on it, and if I was pushed to do it, I think Ruiz. I think he will possibly get another stop around the 11th round. I think that there'll be some. Right, so like Joshua will have some moments that he'll have to overcome, and then he still has the power and I think the technique to hurt Ruiz. I just think that Ruiz is not going anywhere. He's going to be there the whole time,
right,
and then at a certain point mentally, I think Joshua's going to wilt.
And I believe that's the pressure he's not preparing himself for by doing an actual sparring. If you doing technical sparring against your best sparring partners because you don't want them to hurt you like the last time or whatever the reason might be, that's going to end up costing you.
You need to be in a dog fight. Right, so one thing is that, so what do you think Mayweather's just singular best quality? Just if it just one. I mean, he's got all the qualities, but like which one is the top one that you would rate?
I think him being smarter than all his opponents. You got to play chess, not checkers. This is not a game of checkers. So this will lead me to the topic I was trying to, get to, which is what AJ has to do to win the fight. So I'm gonna get my first take on it first. Now, my take on this is this. First of all, one thing that AJ can't have in order to win this fight is a moment like he did the last fight where he asked his corner, "What should I do next?"
Yeah.
You should never ever have a moment like that because as a fighter, you're supposed to make the adjustments in the ring yourself. You're supposed to be calculating. Yeah, your cornerman cannot.
You're taking in information the whole time.
So your cornerman, he's not gonna be. Your trainer's not gonna see the fight and be like, "Oh, okay, he making this mistake." And sometimes when you get hurt in a fight, the trainer only could tell you the basics. What you worked on during the training camp, that's on you to implement it fight night, to do it fight night. But that's up to you, not the trainer. So you have to make adjustments. Floyd Mayweather always says all about making adjustments. I told you about, Gamboa when he fought Terrence Crawford and he threw the right hand. And I thought, like, that's a silly mistake. If he would have kept his left hand up, he wouldn't have got countered with the right hook. But Crawford made the slight adjustment because Gamboa will push his hand down and throw the right hand. And he caught Terrence Crawford a couple times with that. Yeah. So Terrence used that momentum and came back with a hook while pivoting. So he made a slight adjustments. A trainer can't prepare you for that.
That's subtle but genius.
Yeah, and Floyd Mayweather, for example, when he was fighting Manny Pacquiao, his dad was telling him, "You're blowing it, son." Even though he was winning the fight, he was telling Floyd, "Hey, you're not the favorite here. They like Manny Pacquiao. They might rob you. So you're going to have to do better if you know better." Yeah. Floyd was like, "What do you want me to do?" He was like, "Come back with a hook after you throw the right hand." But Floyd told him, or he told the fans after the fight, sometimes the trainer don't see what you see. Yeah. Because I remember when Floyd Mayweather fought a southpaw like Zab Judah, he will throw the right hand, but he will switch stance.
Yeah,
he
would kind of fall in. So he would
in.
throw it, and then so he would bring his right leg up, and then so he would kind of beat her. But he actually wasn't trying to do anything after that. He just really wanted to dip to one side, but you know what I'm saying?
He could avoid the counters.
Exactly.
But then he started coming back with a left hook from a southpaw position. Against Pacquiao, he couldn't do that, what Floyd Mayweather Sr. wanted him to do, because Pacquiao will use his footwork and he wouldn't be stationary, and he will pivot. And he would try to counter with a right hook himself when Floyd Mayweather throws a right hand. So you have to make these adjustments.
Exactly.
AJ, at the same time, he cannot change who he is. I believe he could fight in the inside.
I mean, those are his stripes. Like,
yeah, I believe he could fight in the inside, though. But his problem is when he in the inside, unlike Holyfield, he doesn't have a great chin. And in the heavyweight division, you almost have to have a great chin, because in the inside, you could get caught with a punch that you don't see coming. And they say you could jab with a jabber, but you can't hook with a hooker. And Ruiz is definitely a hooker, and he could easily slip the hooks and come back with his own hook, just like how he caught AJ the first time.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, because of that, because he don't have a great chin, he need to fight in the inside at spots and get his respect. But he need to keep it in the outside as much as he can. And do what Klitschko did, which is throw a 1-2, throw whatever you have to do, and then lean on him. Hold him. And you know, Klitschko.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
See, Klitschko, this is the thing that people don't understand about Klitschko. Klitschko had stamina problems. Klitschko had chin problems.
Klitschko had mental problems.
He had a lot of problems, but he used a great jab. He had a great trainer, and he taught him, hey, hold. If you could hold 10
Rest in
times,
peace to Emmanuel Stewart. But not only that, but so think about when these two fighters were at the height of their career, and these were big fighters who had chin, maybe some mental problems. Lennox Lewis and Klitschko. And so when they got with Manny Stewart, whatnot, so what they would do is, even if they did like a 1-2, go on to your opponent, lean on him, make them carry your weight and everything. But
gas him out.
I wouldn't fight on the inside with Ruiz, because I think that's his shot. I would lean on him, and then I would have the referee break us up. There's gonna be some dull moments in there, but the thing about Joshua is he actually he has all the punches. Like, he can hurt you with the hook, with the lead uppercut, with a right uppercut, with a straight right. And so he has all those punches, but if he does not employ that type of game, and I don't think that they're gonna do that. I don't think that they're gonna do that. What you talked about.
He does have power. AJ does, but Ruiz have a great chin.
He does.
Where he could take a punch and come back, and he a counter puncher.
Yeah.
So he wants you to lead.
Yeah.
And that's why AJ was hesitant the whole time.
Very.
Because Ruiz was making adjustments. AJ wasn't. That's what boxing fans don't understand. Some boxing fans that don't box and never spar, they don't understand, and they can't see the slight adjustments that fighters make.
Subtle.
For example, like when Errol Spence fought Kell Brook, a lot of fans didn't see the adjustments that both fighters were making. For example, Errol Spence will go to the body, and when Kell Brook tried to counter him with a straight right, Errol Spence will duck down, and he will make Kell Brook missed by an inch. It's a game of inches, not miles. Then Kell Brook made the adjustments when Errol Spence went to his body. He came back with an uppercut because he saw him ducking down. Then Errol Spence made the adjustments after that. So all I'm saying is
chess right there. That's high level chess.
So what AJ need to do, if he can't play chess with Ruiz, use your advantages. And I'm not even talking about your attributes. I'm talking about the referee. I'm talking about the judges. I'm talking about you, the A side, when it comes to everything. So since that's the case, you could hold up to 10 times in every round. The referee ain't finna deduct point. So if you hold 10 times in every round like Klitschko used to do, right? Yeah. That's every clinch, that's 10 seconds wasted. So 10 times 10 seconds, that's 100 seconds. That's 100 seconds. That's a half a round.
That's a half a round.
That you could kill by basically just tying your opponent up. And after you land punches, land or miss, you could tie him up and gas him out by leaning on him. But I believe, like you said, I don't think AJ have them veteran tactics like a Hopkins does, like a Klitschko got taught by Emmanuel Stewart.
Even
so
the
I
Andre
think that's
Ward
gonna cost him the fight.
Like people don't get Ward because he still seems like a young fighter to us, whatnot. But Ward is a veteran,
In the
and
game.
he has veteran tactics. That's one of the smartest fighters.
From day one.
And
it's not something like, oh, okay, you need a lot of experience for this. Man, Hopkins did this off the jump. Andre Ward was doing it off the jump, even though he was very skilled. So in order for AJ to win the fight, he have to use his jab, vary his jab. And when you go to the body to Ruiz, stop throwing that jab that don't mean nothing, that don't have no steam behind it. Stick him to the body. And then vary your offense. That's something he was not doing the first fight. And when you fight a counterpuncher, if you're not varying your offense, throwing singles, throwing doubles, like Errol Spence did versus Mikey Garcia, the counterpuncher will always have the upper hand.
Yeah, you're too predictable in that sense. So with that said, we do want to say that we usually try to stay out of politics on it, but there's something that I do want to mention. So this fight is happening in Saudi Arabia, right? So it's the battle in the dunes or between the dunes in a sense. So so people want to kind of talk about this and like this is what we're for and all these things about freedom, but like there are some issues that Saudi Arabia has to, I think, address, particularly when it comes to human rights issues. And this even starts like in Yemen, like when it comes home. I'm talking about, it looks like we're viewing it's almost a cleansing, like an ethnic cleansing, and to that point, y'all can say that this hyperbole or whatever, but I think I think that's been kind of lost in here because there's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah, well, I could speak about that. I don't talk about politics much because I'm gonna need a new channel for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much BS going behind closed doors that people don't know about.
And if you go down that rabbit hole, that's a long journey. That's a long journey.
But I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna just point out things that people don't know. Now, people obviously in the U.S. they think we doing bad. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, they don't know that the 10 amendments and a lot of the amendments that came out, man, is so great for the country because a country like Saudi Arabia, for example, which is Saudi in Arabic, man, they dictators in a way. Why I say that is because when you come to the U.S., like you usually need a cosigner. And what a cosigner is, the countries just need to make sure you're not going to eat off of the country like, oh, I can't find a job. I need food stamp. I need this. I need that. So they need immigrants kind of to have like, okay, this cosigner gonna guarantee that you're gonna work hard, and you're gonna take advantage of the opportunities that you didn't have in your country back home where you had to leave because due to war or whatever. Yeah. Now in Saudi Arabia, I know a lot of Yemenis that go there, and I'm just talking about Yemenis, and we their neighbors. Yeah, exactly. We their neighbors. If you my neighbor and you need some sugar, I'm gonna give you some sugar. What? If you need some food, I'm gonna eat with you.
That sound like I'm in the hood. Like that's like my mom used to send me to go to the neighbor house to get like see if Miss Coleman can give you some milk or some sugar so we can finish this. Man, that's what they do.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a brotherhood, and part of being a Muslim, you have to look out for your brother. You have to love your brother just as much as you love yourself. Exactly. So if they are a Muslim country, right? Yeah. And Yemenis doing horrible, 20 million people are supposed to die by the end of the year due to hunger. And they have all this oil money. And instead of sending food toward us, they send missiles. Which I don't want to get to the politics too much, but I'm going to just talk about this. Which is a form of slavery that people don't know about. Yeah. Now, Yemenis, when they do go to the country, they have to get co-signed by some Saudi Arabian people. You know what I'm saying? In order to become, you're not going to be a citizen. No matter what you do, because citizens of Saudi Arabia don't have to work. They get the oil money. So in a way, they kind of spoil.
Yeah. So there's more rights that you get. Yeah. Once you become that.
But people that come from outside of the country to Saudi Arabia, it don't matter who you are. It don't matter what country you're from. Unless you're from America and you're a citizen and you finna spend some money over there, it's a different story. They're gonna respect you. But I'm talking about people that in need. Instead of helping them out, you have to have a cosigner. And when you have a cosigner by a person from Saudi Arabia, it's basically he owns you. Because I know some Yemenis in that situation. I'm gonna give you a short story on that. Okay. And when you go there, basically half of your profit get taken away. what you make a day, half of it goes to this person,
to your sponsor,
to your cosigner.
Your cosigner,
and your cosigner could kick you out of the country anytime if he wants to. And what make matter worse, you don't have no rights. This Yemeni guy went there, right? He needed to feed his family, and I just want to clear this up. Not all Saudi Arabian people are bad.
Yeah.
For every house, there's a bathroom. I feel like in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia is our bathroom. No disrespect, but for every race, for every family, usually there's a bathroom, meaning a person that's bad, making the family look bad, doing horrible things. So we might see, black crimes, then they blame it on the whole race.
Exactly.
But when it's a white guy doing it, he illed when he done went and shot up the whole mosque.
He got mental illness or whatnot.
That's what I'm saying. But we don't get the benefit of the doubt.
It's not the culture. Yeah. Whatnot. This is just an outlier.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not throwing it on all Saudi Arabian people. That's not the case. It's
Respect.
only the few that's in power, that's the main people, right? Now, this guy, for example, he went to Saudi Arabia to work. He from Yemen. And I know the guy because I donated some money to get him out of prison. A lot of people did. So this guy went to Saudi Arabia. And what's funny, he went to work to feed his family. And the guy that co-signed him, he tried to rape him. Keep in mind, this guy got 2 wives. He a millionaire. He got 2 wives. He tried to rape this guy because he under him. He got no right. He can't do nothing. It don't matter what he do. Now, he was trying to rape him. The dude went to the kitchen, grabbed the knife, and while he tried to rape him, he stabbed him. He killed him. He got locked up. It's a true story. You could Google it and all that. Now, he got locked up for decades. And when he got locked up, he became a preacher. He was very religious. He became a preacher. So some people at the prison felt bad. Saudi Arabian people felt bad. They gave him a phone. So they gave him the code for the Wi-Fi and all that. So he started using the phone, made a Facebook account, and he told his story on Facebook. It blew up. So a lot of the Yemeni community over here, because the Yemeni people are poor in Yemen. So I'm talking about the community over here. Yeah. They send them the money, which was, I think, up to $5 million to bail him out. And his first wife gave up the case because she admitted it was her husband's fault that he was trying to rape him, and she dropped the case. The second one didn't want to do that. So she ended up receiving a lot of money. And they didn't need money anyways. So he got out. He went back Yemen. He's good now. He married. But that's something you could never get back. It's 20 years of your life for something you didn't make a mistake on. Somebody was trying to violate you, and you protected yourself. So Yemeni people still suffering to this day. And the Saudi Arabian government ain't willing to do nothing about it. Instead of donating money to Yemen, they send missiles over there. Trump's daughter comes to the country because you can't donate money to a president. Yeah. But they gave his daughter $100 million, a billionaire, and your people struggling to this day, your neighbors, and you choose to give $100 million to Trump's daughter that's a billionaire that don't need your money. Why is you doing that? That's the messed up part about it. And I remember an interview when I was watching Obama, and somebody asked him in the stand. They was like, when you meet other president, have you ever met a president? You were like, man, this guy's delusional. And Obama didn't give no names out, but he said it's usually the president that been running for government for more than decades. And that's a dictator in a way. Exactly. Like, for example, my homeland, where my family came from, Yemen, there was a president that he was supposed to be in term for 7 years. Yeah. He was there for 40 years. So, same thing with Saudi Arabia. Same thing in all these Arab countries. There's war. There was dictators that didn't want to give up office and power. They just
fell in love with power. And then, like, I respect that or whatnot. So you kind of talked about, like, this is one of the reasons that your home country is experiencing these ills in a sense like that. It was like when people get power is an addictive thing, but the shit is, you see where it leads all of these nations. Like, you start stripping the people of their basic human rights.
And when there's disagreement between countries, like the U.S. and this country, right?
Yeah.
The president feels such power, like he don't care to go in war because he's selfish. He care about himself more so the people. and he not growing the country. Like Saudi Arabia, for example, they doing this fight. They paid all this money to kind of grow the economy because they don't want to rely on oil their whole life because oil one day is going to disappear, right?
It's a finite resource.
But what's funny, grow the schools. Grow, you know what I'm saying?
Intellect is like you can't, if you have a knowledge-based economy compared to a resource-based economy, you're setting yourself up for the future.
Exactly. Like Saudi Arabia, they order pins from outside of the country. Pins.
All right. So we're not gonna stay too long because we actually we a boxing show, I'll go ahead. I'll let you close it up.
Yeah, it's just almost a form of slavery in a way when you could co-sign somebody and get 50% his revenue.
It's not almost a shame,
and you can't even do nothing about it. I know people
like those are called indentured servants or whatnot, and that is a form of slavery. So let's call it what it. Let's call it what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
And they make
let's call it what it is.
They almost make the Arabic community look bad. But like I said, you can't. Every house there's a bathroom, and I just feel like I'm be honest. In the Middle East, Saudi Arabia is our bathroom because even though it's the most holy place, that's why it's so disappointing. It's the most holy place located in there, and that's Mecca. I got all the respect for that. And I want to go there and pray one day. Matter of fact, I will.
You will.
Inshallah. But the problem is, part of Islam, but part of being a Muslim is you can't hate. Our prophet, the last prophet that we believe in, because we believe in all the prophets, he stopped slavery in Saudi Arabia. Back in the day. That's reported in history. He stopped slavery. We all came from Adam and Eve. So fact they
race-based slavery, he was the first one that said we are all equal, and that's straight up. I don't care what color you are, we are all equal.
So if you're a Muslim and you are a racist, then you're not truly a Muslim. If you are a Muslim and you doing this, that what Saudi Arabia does, then you're not doing Islam any justice. The media already doing bad enough, and what the worst part about it is that Saudi Arabia setting up a bad example, and my country where my family from doing bad, Yemen. We doing horrible. I told you 20,000 people supposed to die by the end of the year. The countries nearby, everybody doing horrible except the Saudi Arabia. But I'm just saying, like, instead of hurting who's around you, how about help them? Yemen have oil too. Yemen have the best location when it comes to like
the ports,
the ports and all that.
Yeah.
And instead of letting it grow, they kill it, and that's why I'm very disappointed about that. And it hurts me when I see what Saudi Arabia does and the government, and they trying to kind of they are dictating.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? They are dictators.
And that's Eddie Hearn, and that's why I said that.
Hearn,
and that's why I said he doesn't have respect out there. Like he got this business from his father, but at the same time he'll go and do a slimy move like this, but it's whatever. It's whatever.
It is what it is. So
isn't that the same person? Isn't that the same person that when Chavez didn't want to take, then he was like, all right, we're just going to move the location instead of doing right?
That's the same guy. That his fighter is Jacob, and that's
his own fight. You're not, you dirty. You dirty. But that's right. Let's go.
Get your money how you can. I guess all he care about is the money in his pocket. So he going to have the judges in his pocket, that's for sure. So if the fight do go 12 rounds, Ruiz better dominate AJ every round. I'll tell you that. Now, AJ is making $25 million, and Ruiz is making $13 million. Now, I gotta clarify this. Rumors came out that AJ was making $85 million. Yeah, which I didn't even report on it because people take me seriously.
You didn't verify,
and we're reliable. Split decision, Akhi TV. Part of the new media.
We based in facts, baby. This is not. It's not emotionals. We based in facts right now.
But I believe Eddie Hearn probably threw it out there to kind of act like, oh, AJ is the highest paid athlete, this and that. But we all know it's a lie. AJ came out and confirmed it is. He said, I'm getting 30% of that, 25% or 30% of that. I forgot what he said, which is $25 million, which that sound realistic.
Yeah.
If Ruiz making $13 million, AJ making $25 million, Eddie Hearn making $10 to $15 million for hosting the fight over there. So the only guy that's making money really is Eddie Hearn. That's why the fight is taking place over there, because AJ didn't have the cojones to come back to the U.S. and prove himself, because it's a bad look. Even if he pulls off the win, it's a bad look that you kind of needed to fight him in a different country, not in the U.S. Like, so you telling me you're not a world champion? You a continent champion? You can't go win in the U.S.? Like, you a laughing stock in the U.S. You was supposed to be hanging out with football players, basketball players. You was already hanging out with Kobe and all them.
Supermodels.
You know what I mean? What happened? You know what I mean? Ruiz is what happened. So hop into the next topic. Anthony Joshua came out and said, F everybody. He plans to stick his middle finger up to kind of a response, to all the critics once he beat Andy Ruiz. And that's another reason he won't beat Andy Ruiz, in my opinion, stating and making comments like that. Like, really, bro? Like, you didn't even rematch Ruiz in the U.S., in New York City, the place he made you quit. But you're going to say all that. Like I said, we talked about this last show. It ain't like you about to beat Deontay Wilder, and that's the fight you avoided and ducked. It ain't like you cleaned out the heavyweight division and you made that comment. Yeah. You cleaning up your own mess that you made the last fight. And you talking about, I'm going to stick my finger up? Really, bro?
And bow down. Everybody going to have to.
Bow down. You know, like, why would you make comments like that? It makes him look bad. It shows that he's not mentally there. It shows that he's trying to kind of gas himself up. And that's the problem. Like I said earlier, you think if Wilder was watching this round table that they had talking about the fight when it was Paulie, Hay, and Froch and them, you think Wilder will watch that and believe that the thing they be saying? He'd be like, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm going to go in the ring and knock his ass out.
Exactly. He's like I don't,
he's so mentally strong. Like, he ain't going to let that get to him. He going to be like, what is these dude talking about?
And he's the type of person that he narrows his focus. Just like, man, you know what I need to do? I need to walk in there. I need to put my right hand on his chin, and he need to go to sleep. And then, like, so the thing that a lot of people liked about Joshua was like he was this really like philosophical, like career.
Well-spoken guy.
Yeah, well-spoken. So he's just all like, oh man, y'all gonna have to bow down and y'all gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, first of all, you listening to the critics. You talking about you gotta bow down. Really, you should be at the point where you're saying that I'm just doing something that I'm supposed to be doing anyway, right? So like I was like if I'm supposed to be at this level. Like, this is not I'm not conquering this big mountain. I'm supposed to be doing this. Yeah.
It's just another day in the office.
Exactly. Like once you fight a Ortiz or fight a Wilder or Tyson Fury, once you clean them out, then you can talk about bowing down. Like you ain't even beat him yet. Like beat fucking Andy Ruiz.
Hold on.
Pardon me. Respect.
No, you all right. Yeah. Listen. I love that energy. Now hold on. Listen. AJ, he acting like he's finna climb this mountain. Like, bro, he sound like he don't even believe himself when he said, I'm gonna stick my finger up after I beat Ruiz. Like, it's supposed to be another day in the office. Like, oh, I lost the first time. I made a couple mistakes. I'll make adjustments, come back, win them. But I really want the big dog, Deontay Wilder versus Fury winner. That's who I really want. That's what he was supposed to say. Not, oh, I'm going to stick my finger up, and that's the guy that you brought up to the map. Exactly. He became a legend off of you.
And you had the perfect phrase, bro. You was like, you just cleaned up the mess that you made.
Yeah,
like everybody had already had your plate made. You had a seat at the table. You did all this, and your ass, you didn't knock this plate on the floor. You didn't start all this other mess. Like you got to clean that up, and then you can try to get a seat back at the table.
Man, that's perfectly worded, and it's funny because Deontay Wilder cleared the Ortiz mess. You know what I'm saying? Wilder fought Ortiz and cleaned the mess that AJ made because he was supposed to fight Ortiz the first time. And he promised him, it was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to fight you right after. Can you let us fight for this belt? And I'm going to fight you next as my mandatory instead of me and you fighting for a vacant belt when he fought Klitschko, remember? Mm-hmm. And you lied to him. Eddie Hearn had to give up Ortiz, release him out of the contract, and Wilder came and cleaned your mess twice. And now you made a mess and you talking about you're going to stick your finger up. How about this? How about stop sparring short fighters? How about that? Because do real sparring too. Because this is the funny part about AJ. If I struggle versus tall fighters, right?
Yeah.
If I struggle versus tall fighters, I'm a spar tall fighters more often. If I struggle versus southpaws, I'm a spar southpaws more often so I could get used to that style. AJ, instead of doing that, instead of sparring, short fighters so he could get used to them ducking under his punches, easily slipping his punches, instead of getting used to that, he does technical sparring. What that gonna do? Like I said, that ain't gonna fatigue you. That pressure is not the same. And you need to really have tougher sparring than almost the fight night, because fight night is a lot of pressure. All eyes on you. It ain't just your trainer watching, giving you instructions. You're not gonna be able to stop the match at any time you want.
Exactly.
And if you do, it's your payday. It's your career. You're gonna end up being another price. Making comments like that,
that's kind of low.
You lose, you be another price. Because
that's quite a fault. I mean,
let me explain why to you.
I do see
because look, Price every time he step up, he lost, right? Now AJ obviously have a better resume than Price, but if he loses to Ruiz, then Wilder came out and said that AJ could be the new Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Now Wilder's only saying that.
I think he messing with him.
Wilder's only saying that. I know why Wilder said that. He knows Ruiz finna beat his butt. So he like, you know what? I want to make a payday after that. If I beat Ruiz, I want to fight AJ. Because he already stated, win or lose, I still want to whoop his ass.
Yeah.
So he wants to fight AJ and still build it up. Oh, this could be the Muhammad Ali versus Foreman, because Foreman beat Frazier, who beat Ali.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference was Ali beat Frazier before he beat Foreman.
You
feel me? Now and
I can't take that comparison.
No, it's not even a comparison. Deontay Wilder is just BSing, but he just want to build the AJ fight because he still want to fight AJ. But the problem is, if AJ loses to Ruiz, that's 2 losses back to back. Then he fight Wilder, he sure gonna get knocked out. He fight Fury, he lose. He fight anybody, Ortiz, he probably lose. So another price in the office. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna be a real price fighter. Only fighting.
I mean, Price. Thing I don't want to be too technical, but Price never won a belt, and Price he lost to the guy that. So who knocked him out?
Man, too many people knocked him out.
No. But it was a left hand fighter. He knocked him out because I think Price was undefeated at the time. It was the dude that Ortiz beat and got some recognition for that. Let me find out. A black dude.
Yeah,
you know
I know
what I'm saying?
But
you know what I'm talking about? Kind of
the name
funny build. It's
slipped out
why
of my
is it
mind.
out there?
The guy who said he gonna break his wife's hip.
Exactly.
Thompson or something like that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that knocked him out though. It's a lot of people that knocked. If you go to his list, you're gonna see too many L's with KO next to it. So I'm only saying that because if AJ do decide to fight the best, the likes of Deontay Wilder, Fury, after that, he's still gonna get knocked out after the Ruiz fight. So he have to get it together and stop being cocky with it. Like I said, you gotta prove yourself. Wilder proved himself twice versus Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get to Wilder later because we gotta talk about that too.
So one quick thing just to set up. So when you were talking about the best quality of Floyd Mayweather, and then why it wasn't a good idea for Anthony Joshua to do his technical sparring. So I think it might not be his singular best quality.
Speak a little bit from the mic.
Okay, yeah, it might not be his singular best quality, but for me, Floyd Mayweather was the fact that he could think at a high level and very quickly, even when he was tired. I thought that really kind of separated him, even from fighters who might be just as quick or just as talented. That was the thing that really put him. If you slow down by a quarter of a second, you were in trouble with Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather said, you could be stronger than me, faster than me, more powerful than me, but you ain't smarter than me. And that's reflect back to what you said. Yeah. And he had that muscle memory. I mean, remember when he fought Canelo, he was on a rope. He caught Canelo with a 1-2, and then Canelo threw a punch. He just ducked. That's what you call gifted. But at the same time, he worked hard on his craft. Like, he mastered his craft. And the difference between... It's too many, like, it's disrespectful to compare AJ with Floyd because he ain't even mentally there as Floyd. Nah. Floyd, he knows he could beat anybody. And that's something you were born with it. You either have it or you don't. Either you have that type of confidence that Wilder has or you don't.
And that just feels AJ good. Like when you walk around, you were just like, you know what? They might be this, that. They might have these things, but I will always find a way. And then like to know that and really believe that,
It's different.
That's a great quality. So the fighter was Tony Thompson, Tony Tiger Thompson.
Yeah.
And stuff,
I know it was Thompson. Something.
Yeah. You did say this. So there is. I just want to make sure that we give fighters their props and stuff like that.
That's my guy. He funny as hell.
He funny as hell. He stopped that David Price hype. Not only that, but he knocked him out in back-to-back fights. I think actually in the first fight, David Price had dropped him. Yeah. So this is when they were trying to make him the next one.
Price have same thing that AJ has, which is stamina issues, chin issues. These things that you better have perfect defense in the heavyweight division if you're gonna have these type of problems. Yeah. And I believe that AJ, he just really have to be perfect and fight in the inside, get his respect at spots, and then box, and then vary his offense,
lean
defense. Lean on him.
Make him carry your weight. Do that.
Man, there's too many things he got to do.
Be nasty in there. Stop letting dudes hold your belt. Stop doing it. Stop being. This is a fight. Y'all are fighting. Get nasty in there.
Ruiz said he going to end his career. Ruiz, I could think he a nice guy all he want. During the face-to-face, he wanted to talk some ish. Yeah. He was like, man, this dude too soft for me. Like, he was like, man, he wanted to talk some ish, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to keep this nice guy image. Like, Ruiz got some dog in him. But the problem with AJ, he want to be a Mr. Nice Guy, which is cool. But that's people saying that's not even really his personality. But I'm not even going to get to that. I don't care. As long in the ring, he performs. Instead of saying F everybody if I win. Like, what? What are you talking about? It's your fans that don't even believe in you. Your fans ain't even picking you to win a fight. They used to, they used to come to the comment section, ride for AJ. Like, they would die for AJ. But now they don't even believe in you. Your own fans. And you talking about F everybody, the critics. Your fans is your own critics. Hay is your biggest fan. During the debate, he didn't want to admit, he didn't want to pick Ruiz to win the fight. He wanted it. He wanted to. But like I said, they babysit AJ so much that he don't want to tell it like it is. But sometimes you just got to tell it like it is to motivate him instead of having him doubting himself. And like you said, when you're confident and you go in the ring, you're not intense. You're not burning a lot of energy. When you're nervous and you're worried this guy could knock you out with any punch or hurt you, you're so intense that you're burning out unnecessary energy. Mm-hmm. And Ruiz will go to the body. Ruiz will go to the head and counter you and be on you all night. Now, before I go to the next topic, I'm going to just bring this up. Well, matter of fact, I'll leave this for the last topic. Crawford versus a gold medalist guy. You know, I have not seen one promotion. I have not seen one interview. And this really got me tight and kind of pissed off because how y'all have y'all number one talent, the most talented person that has a mega fight in the hottest division in boxing today and maybe of all time. And instead of promoting him, like y'all promoted Fury when he fought a nobody and sold 3,000 tickets, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Instead of promoting him like y'all promote Lomachenko, that's known as Lomachenko now, they try to erase his loss. Y'all not promoting Crawford the same way? Man, I have not seen one promotion. And guess when he fights?
January?
Hell no.
When?
December 14th,
no way.
bro. That's what I'm saying.
Terrence
so
Crawford
close. He fighting the week after.
Month.
Yeah, the week after AJ versus Ruiz, which is the week coming up, right? It's the week after that. And they haven't promoted that fight, not even once.
That's criminal.
Which has got me tight.
That's
because
that's criminal.
That's criminal. And that's why I keep telling you, Crawford needs to leave ESPN as soon as possible. If he don't, knowing that PBC have all the talent, knowing that PBC got Al Heyman, that Ruiz was going to retire, but because he left Bob Arum and went to Al Heyman, look at him today.
I mean, Mikey Garcia,
Floyd Mayweather,
Oscar De La Hoya,
all
fighters, of them, they rose to different levels when they left.
If you see how they treating these fighters on the hope list, from Tyson Fury, that don't even have the talent that you do, like Lomachenko, that Bob Arum out of his own mouth stated that Crawford has more talent, but he less marketable. It's because you ain't marketing him. That's why.
What he was trying to say is Terrence is black.
And Lomachenko white.
Lomachenko is this white guy.
That's what I'm saying. So if
I could like push,
but
that's coded language.
My issue with Terrence Crawford, if he does not leave, because I heard this might be his last fight under the contract. If he does not leave Bob Arum and stick with Bob Arum ain't loyal to. I'll tell you that. Then Crawford made the biggest mistake in boxing history. And no disrespect, Terrence Crawford, one of my favorite fighters, pound for pound #1. I've been preaching that from day one, even though he beat up my favorite fighter, Gamboa. But I ain't a hater. I give fighters their respect. But if he don't do that, that's the dumbest decision in boxing history. Seeing the blueprint, and you don't decide to follow that, and still following the trap when your promoter's not pushing you.
It might be up there. I think Andre, who's made some of the worst decisions that I've seen,
is not in the same shoe that Crawford is in. He already recognized as pound for pound.
You're right now.
He already moved up divisions.
I think that Andre could be seen. He doesn't have all the qualities of Terrence Crawford, but he has a lot. I want to say that so Crawford is fighting on December the 14th at Madison Square Garden. He's fighting
I was gonna go,
Iga,
right?
yeah, that's right.
I was supposed to go,
Iga
but
Dehus,
I forgot about
Kavalauskas.
They didn't promote it. I forgot to book my ticket. And I'm over here promoting Crawford, almost every other day. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. He's fighting on the 14th. Yeah, I just found that out today when I'm looking at topics. Like, come on now.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's bad, man. I don't even know who he's fighting. He's supposed to be a fighter that could fight, that's dangerous and this and that. But how we know? Because they not promoting him, man. How is Tyson Fury fighting a guy like Tom Schwartz, who's not even ranked on the top 50, get more promotion, have a documentary on him before the fight, a month before the fight, 2 months before the fight, and Crawford, the pound for pound #1, they got a mega fight with Errol Spence coming up in the hottest division in boxing, ain't getting promoted, not even a bit. And how you gonna have leverage going to negotiating with Errol Spence? He gonna I'll give you 20%.
Well, and the thing is that Terrence has an engaging personality. He has a good backstory. He is willing to take on anybody. The guy is he's got that dog in him. And not only that, like he wants to take out his opponent. He's not somebody who's gonna dance to a victory. This guy wants to take you out. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if it's the 12th round. This guy wants to take you out. And for him
him being a boxer that switched stance, stopped his last 5 opponents. He a knockout puncher.
Oh,
he stopped his last 5 opponents. And that guy is not getting promoted. And this is what pissed me off the most is that, like, Crawford has to see this coming. He got one of the best stories in boxing. Do you know Crawford got shot in the head? Mm-hmm. He got shot right here, boom. And I did not know that. I had to, hear somebody on a YouTube interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to get informed on that. Like,
I didn't know he got shot. I didn't realize it was in the head, but I did know that he was
I heard
shot.
I mean, anywhere, but I think I heard the person say in the head or something, which is crazy for you to survive that. That should be the story all over the news, all over, ESPN when they market you. But I don't even see promotions. I don't even see the interview that Andre Ward did with Terrence Crawford that I was so looking forward to. I posted him when Andre Ward made him do the 40 push-ups and all that. And I was waiting for that. I'm like, man, Terrence Crawford gonna take shots at Andre Ward. Like, yeah. That's why you did them 40 push-ups, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking forward to that. It ain't even here. And the fight is a week from now.
2 weeks. You got 2 weeks. Because next weekend.
Oh, yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but
next
they don't.
weekend
but you can't really promote it this week.
Yeah.
You can't even promote it this week because of the Ruiz
fight.
So what should he do?
The fight happens right after the Heisman Trophy winner. So that's good. The lack of promotion. The one thing is, I think I'm a boxing aficionado, but I didn't even know the date of the fight. So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
That says a lot.
And when you rank Crawford as #1, I rank him as #1.
I got on
we
one
don't know
right now.
He fighting December 14th. Come on now. Come on. Like, ESPN has to do better. If they know better, they better do better and offer Crawford more cheddar if they want to keep him. And I hope Terrence Crawford make the right decision because a lot of people won't support him if he stay with ESPN, especially.
But it's don't punish the fighter though. That's the thing. It is, but he's
not seeing they're not marketing him.
I'm
not talking about how to be.
But part of it,
I'm looking out for him.
It is, but part of it is okay. So you want him to also manage all of this stuff as far as his fighting in the actual ring, which is what he is born to do. But then we're punishing him for a business decision where we can't be mad if they not are, so he does have a blueprint in front of him, but like don't punish the fighter, man.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to look out. I'm trying to look out for the cookout. Listen, Professor Nick, one thing you good with, I know this, because I know you personally. You good with money. Professors get paid over here. Like, if y'all don't know, I ain't trying to put my man business out, but he money made. He money made out here. But listen, when it comes to money, right? When he signs with Top Rank, his old promoter that put him on with Top Rank get 8% of every fight. Mm-hmm. Bob Arum get probably 30%. I don't know the statistics 100%. Yeah. If he resigns with Top Rank again, his old manager still get that 8% cut. Why would you get 40% cut and then you got to give your trainer 10%? Then your training camp, you're leaving with 40%. So why would you do that when you could go to Heyman, that's a genius, that's the talent pool in the welterweight division is all with PBC. You could go there. You don't have to have a promoter. You your own boss like Mayweather, like Errol Spence.
You're right about that.
You're not getting 8% taken for your old manager. Heyman, the smartest man in boxing, is your manager. Come on, you're going to tell me I'm trying to look out for Terrence Crawford because I care about Terrence Crawford because he a good man and he care about his family. I just want the best for him. So I'm not saying this because I'm not hating on ESPN either. If they could offer him a contract where they're going to give him $100 million, okay, we want you for 10 fights. I'm all for it, 5 fights. But if they're not willing to offer him the right money, then ESPN, I'm sorry, I got to call it what it is. Y'all keep promoting this guy with one loss, trying to erase his loss and promoting him, pushing him to the public. Fans get fooled. Oh, this guy undefeated when he's not. Meanwhile, y'all have the guy that could elevate the network like Terrence Crawford if he could beat Errol Spence and y'all choose not to market him, build his brand. Now, if y'all do decide to keep him and offer him a big contract, if he decide to fight Errol Spence, he's not going to have the leverage. He sure won't be the A side. Errol Spence said he willing to give him 40%. But after that, Errol Spence, if he get to the Manny Pacquiao fight after the car accident and all that, may he return in 100% safe, inshallah, he will end up giving Terrence Crawford 20%. Not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying they not helping Terrence Crawford build his brand. And if Ruiz left and he was finna retire because of being depressed and stuff from the boxing game because of Bob Arum, and he was Mexican, what Bob Arum claimed, Mexicans are the most popular. Like, okay, you had that Mexican fighter that became a world champion, and you did him dirty. And look at what happened to him when he went to Heyman. So why wouldn't Terrence Crawford, the pound for pound today, do what Floyd Mayweather did back in the day,
but not only that,
leave Top Rank to fight Oscar and become a superstar in the game, turn into money made, and becoming the biggest pay-per-view seller of all time?
Not only that, like we lost 2 years out of Mikey Garcia's prime because him getting out of that contract. It took him that long.
They were blaming each other. Top Rank blaming Mikey blaming Top Rank. And
that was when Arum tried to like serve up Garcia to like Crawford. I was like, oh yeah, we got to fight for you. You got to fight Crawford though.
Oh no, he was trying to serve Mikey Garcia to Gamboa at the time. And he was kind of like, he knew Mikey was trying to leave, so he was trying to give him the Gamboa fight, and HBO was pushing for that fight. They were like, that would have
been a good fight.
They were like, we only won the Gamboa fight. But for some reason, I don't know what it is, Mikey Garcia, like, he was so... no part of Gamboa.
Y'all went back and forth.
I went back and I like Mikey. We went back and forth, on Twitter and all that. And Gamboa was supporting me because he knew, you know what I'm saying? I was in contact with Gamboa, making sure all my information 100% sure. Yeah. And every time I'm like, why is Mikey doing that? Because a lot of people believe in Mikey. Like, he got good power. He could knock out Gamboa. Gamboa make mistake, but that wasn't even the best. That wasn't even the best version of Gamboa.
No,
but I remember 2 years before that time, Gamboa was 126, killing everybody, and Mikey was on the way up. And they asked Robert Garcia, "Would you want Mikey to fight Gamboa?" He said, "Hell no." Not that dude. So I could see why they was kind of aware of Gamboa, because Gamboa was still undefeated at the time. He haven't fought Terrence Crawford.
Now Gamboa was a boss. Don't slip on him.
Yeah, Gamboa in his prime.
I don't like this matchup now, but Gamboa was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw Gervonta Tank Davis with Gamboa, and Gervonta was looking at Gamboa like, Gamboa, really? why you eyeballing me like that? But we cool. But Gambo was like, nah, yeah, we sparred, we cool. Thank you for the payday, but I'm here to fight. So I respect that from Gambo.
Yeah, I respect both of them.
Yeah, I respect that, and I respect Tank for giving him the opportunity because Gambo really needs it. Now, next topic, Manny Pacquiao, next opponent might be Mikey Garcia, which you probably right. Now it could be Danny Garcia.
I said that like our first show.
Now if it could be Danny Garcia. Yeah. I didn't think it would be Mikey because I was like, man, why would Manny Pacquiao do that? But it is what it is. I ain't even gonna criticize him because I wanted to see the Errol Spence fight. If Errol Spence don't get it because the crash, accident, whatever, then it is what it is, So if he do fight Mikey or Danny, I think you prefer Danny, but the Mikey Garcia fight, is it really that interesting to you? Like, what's Mikey's chance of beating Pacquiao?
I actually think he has a good chance. The reason that
50, give me a percentage. Not saying it's 50-50, but give me a percentage.
No, I would say I would give Mikey at least a 50% chance of beating Pacquiao.
50%
at one. Yeah. So this is would Pacquiao make him go to 147? They probably would.
They find at 147 for sure. They find 147 for sure.
That change because I'm actually I was actually thinking about that fight at 140. But one of the reasons why I thought that they were always going to shoot for that fight was when you think about just dimensions of the body, the physical type, and all those other things. I think Pacquiao saw that as a very winnable fight. This was like, I'm not going to be giving up that many advantages. I'm going to have the speed advantage, probably the power advantage. Mikey, and we're really close in size. I think Mikey's actually a little bit smarter of a fighter than Pacquiao. I always thought that was Marquez's advantage over Pacquiao. I thought that physically Pacquiao would dominate him, but Marquez was a little bit smarter than Pacquiao.
A little bit.
I'm trying to give him some credit because
No disrespect to Pacquiao. Pacquiao is very gifted. Meaning
exactly.
His talent,
his
and
quick
attributes,
twitch, his strength,
Mikey
his power.
Can't mess with that. Mikey cannot mess with that. But what he does have is he's smart. He has good counters. Mikey, comparing him to Marquez, he's not a combination puncher. But one thing he's a single puncher.
Well, he hit hard. That 1-2 though.
Yeah, he hit hard.
And
Mikey,
he'll come with that 1-2.
People don't understand. Mikey hit hard.
He do hit hard.
Don't sleep on Mikey.
Anybody that fight him will tell you. Axe Broner. Yeah. Axe Easter, Robert Easter.
Yeah. Errol Spence just a different beast.
Yeah.
But Manny Pacquiao, he makes the type of mistakes, especially coming in, that will benefit a guy like Mikey. So I think that fight is 50-50. I will lean toward Pacquiao a little bit because he's way faster than Mikey. And he have that ring IQ and experience.
Has better footwork. Mikey has good feet, but Pacquiao is faster. His feet are still.
Mikey have more intelligent footwork. Manny Pacquiao has better footwork overall, meaning he quicker on his feet.
Exactly.
He could circle you in and out, all that. So I feel like that's going to give Mikey a hard time. But can it be a Floyd Mayweather that Manny Pacquiao returning to? Because Floyd Mayweather came out and said that, well, he didn't say, but his CEO.
He posted. Oh, yeah.
His
he
CEO
did
came
post
out.
Something, yeah.
And they said that Floyd Mayweather is working with Dana White. Is it the Khabib fight? They say he's fighting twice in 2020. It could either be the Khabib fight. It could either be the Manny Pacquiao fight back to back. What are your thoughts on the Khabib fight and the Manny Pacquiao fight back to back? If that's what it is. If not, what do you think? What's your thoughts overall?
So part of it is that I think Floyd is a promoter. Floyd also likes attention. So I think those are factor into it. I really hope he doesn't fight Pacquiao. I think that Floyd is, to me, infinitely the better fighter. He's had the better career. But Pacquiao is pretty active. Floyd hasn't had a really competitive fight in about 4 years.
Yeah.
In about 4 years.
He didn't.
Yeah. So,
he didn't.
So when you think about Pacquiao's fighting the top welterweights that are out there.
And boxing is muscle memory.
And
boxing
so I hope he doesn't do that because that'll give Pacquiao an advantage to even up the series. It'll be a lot of money. I don't think Floyd needs to do it.
I could see the Khabib fight. That makes sense.
It is.
Because Floyd, I'm sorry, like Khabib, I love him to death. He a great role model and all that.
Yes.
I would love to see him get paid versus Floyd. But him beating Floyd, there's no chance in the world. Especially him being an orthodox fighter, man.
He'll get embarrassed.
Yeah, so versus Khabib, it don't matter how long. Floyd could be 50 years old. You know, the little things that Floyd does gonna frustrate Khabib too much and get him, stopped. But a guy like Manny Pacquiao, he's still fighting, is a warrior, have that muscle memory because he's active. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather don't have that muscle memory.
No.
He even showed it against, I don't know, like I heard he didn't train like that versus Conor McGregor, but still he was at the strip club like the whole week before that. But fight night, you could see he didn't have that.
I mean,
he didn't care.
He won, but
he really didn't care. He was just walking
He didn't
in.
look like, when I saw that fight, I was like, man, I hope this is it.
Yeah, so Khabib, I understand. A legit
it'll
fight.
Be a lot of money, but the thing you're fighting somebody who doesn't even have an amateur box. At least Conor McGregor could say I had an amateur boxing career. But I want to give Canelo credit. I'm not on his payroll, but Canelo was asked about a fight with Jorge Masvidal, and then he was like,
"Who the hell is that?"
It's the guy from MMA who fought Nate Diaz, who beat Nate Diaz, and then Canelo was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like that's not about legacy.
Man,
that's not gonna prove anything. He said that's all about money.
Canelo called out Woodley.
Well, I'm saying I'm just talking about this one case. Canelo was like, that's all about money, and then it's a farce. Okay. It's not a fight. It's a farce.
Well, let me inform you on what Canelo said. Canelo said Floyd Mayweather, he embarrassed him boxing in a way because he needed to fight a young gun with skill. That's a boxer. Now, like I said,
fight at all.
like he don't need to fight at all. That's like you said. But this is why Canelo sound like a hater, because he talking about why he fighting Conor McGregor. Let me give you 1,000 reasons why. First reason, he made in one fight, he made more money or almost as much money you making for your whole contract for the zone. He made $350 million in one night. Fighting a BS fight, you out here.
BS
you know what I'm saying? You fighting 11 fights for one fight of Floyd. So that's the main reason.
It is, but
hold on, let me finish my reasons.
And then let me retort.
Second reason, you called out Conor McGregor. It was Canelo Alvarez that called out Conor, said he would love to fight him in a boxing ring. Oh, as soon as Floyd Mayweather get it, because he got the persona and the trash talk, because Conor McGregor, what the hell he gonna say to Canelo? Canelo ain't gonna be able to talk back, and he's in his prime. Floyd is old.
That's a good point.
Right? You called out Conor McGregor, but you bashing Floyd for the same thing you did, and then we could say, oh, okay, it is what it is. Even your promoter did that. And matter of fact, you called out Woodley after the Kovalev fight. How you call out?
He did?
Yeah, Woodley. You know who Woodley is?
I know
he
Woodley.
Lost.
I know.
He's not even a champion no more. That's the bad part.
He lost to Usman.
And Usman is a good fighter. But I'm saying, why would you call out Woodley and now you bashing Floyd?
Why are you calling out any of them?
Yeah, why would you even call him out? It makes him look bad. It's just like Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was ducking Errol Spence, but calling out Conor McGregor. Like, I thought you had an injury. That's my problem with these fighters that bash Floyd. Like, I respect you. You could have your own opinion, Canelo. But why are you bashing a guy for doing something you want to do? Because you calling out Woodley. You calling out Conor. So you sound like a hypocrite to me. You sound like a hater for hating on Floyd for making more money than you do. And the last reason, you talking about Floyd Mayweather need to fight young guns. When Floyd Mayweather was 37, he beat you when you was 23. You was a young gun. And he beat you like you stole something. But you're going to tell him to what to do? The same guy that beat you? How about you fight Andre and Charlo, like I've been saying and preaching for the past 5 years, the same guys you've been ducking for 5 years, that Chavez, Morales, all these legendary fighters from your own country, your people, they want you to fight these guys, but you choose to call out Woodley instead and bash Floyd and want a rematch. Like, why you want to fight a 43-year-old version of Floyd? Like, come on, man. How about fight Charlo and Andre? So, you could finish your point. My bad. I just had to get that out the way.
Well, I was going to say that, you brought up some good points. I think in the end that the people who lose out are the fans. It's not them, because they're going to make a lot of money in those situations when they do those. But when when those are the things that get the most promotion and that people are putting up to say that this is what boxing is right now at its height, that doesn't reflect well upon us. I don't like those kind of cross discipline fights. If you in MMA or you in fight, or it's just like these are different sports. Like they have some of the same attributes, but these are different sports, and you can't take somebody who's basically an amateur fighter, Conor McGregor, and then put him in with the GOAT of our generation.
Listen. I agree and disagree with that because I believe it's more than just the fans that's losing. Let me explain why. Canelo's losing. The reason why Floyd Mayweather is able to come back to the boxing game and steal $300 million that the fighters that are active today could have grabbed it is because the best aren't fighting the best. We're not seeing the best fight the best. If we would have saw Wilder versus AJ, if AJ wasn't ducking Wilder, Floyd Mayweather wouldn't have a say-so like he does. If Canelo fights the Charlo, the Andre, growing his brand, Floyd Mayweather wouldn't have the say-so. So it's the fighter's fault as well. Like, for example, Canelo Alvarez, since he been with DAZN, his popularity went down. Yeah. Because when he fought Gennady Golovkin on HBO the first time, they did 1.1 million pay-per-view buys. The second time they fought, they did close to 1 million. So it went down. Then when he signed to DAZN, every time he fought, the ratings went down. The last fight when he fought Kovalev, I told you he sold his lowest amount of seats to this day. Seats, and views.
What was the viewers?
And DAZN didn't even want to release them. Now, if you have a basketball, like for example, basketball after every game, every player like Kobe, when he shoot threes, right? If that's his highest score, they will release it, right? But and DAZN,
it's not going to be the highest.
I'm saying, but at the same time, if it's growing, like if DAZN, if the numbers are growing, they will release it next day. But they not releasing it because the only number we know is when he fought Jacob, and that was 660,000 views in the U.S. Which is like,
that is.
And now when he fought Kovalev, they didn't even want to release them numbers. So like I said, Canelo popularity keep going down, and that's why Floyd Mayweather keep coming back to the game, stealing more money. Yeah, because if he fighting Charlo and Andrade and the best, I promise you, Floyd Mayweather, and this is not just Canelo. I'm saying Lomachenko, anybody. All the fighters need to fight each other. Because that way, a guy like Floyd, y'all could complain about him, but that's why he taking y'all money. Because y'all ain't fighting. Floyd Mayweather, for decades, he was fighting the best when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. Till he got there to where he at, then he became strategic, fighting twice a year only, maximizing the pay-per-view buys because he didn't want his fans to pay too much money. But he always fought fighters coming off their biggest win. Always grew in popularity. So that's what Canelo need to take notes from Floyd instead of bashing him. How about take notes what Floyd Mayweather the blueprint? Because Canelo is not growing. He only got his fans and his fans only. Because he's not taking meaningful fights.
He might be a little stagnant now. But I think that he's still young. He has a window. I think he's going to let these, this is my thoughts, I think he's going to let these young guns get a little wear and tear on them. I don't think that he'll do that well against, in far as numbers-wise, against Andrade. Charlo, yes, because they can build a promotion around that. Charlo's going to talk junk. He's got the kind of hip-hop community and stuff. But with Andrade, I don't think that's going to do too well.
See, the reason why I think the Andrade fight is a big fight, too, is because it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah, it's definitely
every time danger in there, the fight will sell. Like, for example, people were saying Lara is not more popular than Angulo. As soon as he fought Lara, that he did his best numbers after the Floyd fight. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a dangerous fighter, like all these people, like, you know how Canelo fans going to be watching because they're going to be like, oh, that's the Andre guy that everybody keeps saying he ducking. Andre fans going to be watching. A lot of boxing fans going to be intrigued on this matchup in particular. So sometimes it's the fact that, okay, the reason why Canelo versus Kovalev was in a big fight is because people knew that Kovalev had too many disadvantages. And that's why he keep coming out bashing Canelo, saying, you don't know ish about boxing if you thought I could win that fight. Because people did feel that way leading up to the fight. Canelo had all the advantages. So not just that, Kovalev on his way out, and it's just no hype for the fight. You see how much we hype for the Ruiz AJ fight? Like, oh, what's finna happen? Curiosity sells fights. Yeah. When you know what's about to happen, that's not gonna sell the fight. But hopping to the next topic, I just want to touch on this real quick. Errol Spence hints at 2020 return. I just saw this news. Okay. You know, he returned to the ring in 2020. He hinted at...
really?
Yeah, which is next year. He said...
Man, that's next month. I mean, it's December now. The 2020 right here.
He said you can't break down what can't be broken. Been ready for 2020. So he's, you know, coming back in 2020. Inshallah, he does coming back stronger than ever. Now, PBC will be wise to give Errol Spence maybe a tune-up fight to see where he at. I mean, not a tune-up where it's a washed-up fighter. Like, I feel like Ray Robertson. I feel like a guy like that's a name fighter probably could give Errol Spence, hey, let's see if he there or not. You know, just to see where he at.
I've got a name, but...
Do you think that's a good idea? Or you think he should hop in the big dogs with Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao? Because Errol Spence came out and said these guys only calling me out, acting like they want to fight now when the table turns, but because of the accident too. They don't want no action.
No, they do like that.
He was talking more so about Manny Pacquiao.
That's like a lion when they see an injured gazelle, so they don't go after the ones that are there. They see them like, oh yeah, like I'm going after that. Yeah. So I think that he might fight Danny Garcia. I think that Danny Garcia is trying to stay away from him, but at this time he was like, if at any time that I should fight Errol Spence at this time is right now.
Yeah. Right. Win or lose, he still wins.
Yeah, he's been inactive. He's doing that. This is going to be the most vulnerable time that I can fight Errol Spence. They're going to want me to fight him eventually. So I think that Danny Garcia fight
and I believe
will be
even
happening.
The Pacquiao, he probably looking at it the same way. He like, man, if I could get my hands on him right now. That's why I think it's taking so long for Pacquiao to announce his next fight, because you don't know if it's a Errol Spence, if it's a Floyd Mayweather, because it's so much news out there, we don't know what's coming. Now, if Errol Spence feel like he need a tune-up because he did suffer a bad car accident, then do the tune-up to see where you at. Yeah. If you feel like you ready, you going back to sparring, you feel like you never left, but he gained a lot of weight, but still, you know, if he go back, you know, lacerations ain't hurt you. Sure, I got an accident myself. You know, I got this covering up the lacerations, but it's okay. If you feel like you're ready, I'm all for it. If you feel like you need a tune-up fight, I'm all for it as well. Make sure you don't go back to the ring where, you know, because Errol Spence is the truth. I'm sorry, he ain't no Keith Thurman. He ain't here one time. He here more than one time. Yeah. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and every time. So just next topic, just, you know, touching on this real quick. This is just the pop-up news. This has popped up on my news section that fans sent me. Forbes published a shocking and a crazy Deontay Wilder pound-for-pound #1 claim. More than a lot of lists are picking this up. So. Not just Forbes. Hold on, let me see this. Mazouk pound-for-pound top 10. I don't know who that is. Yeah, but they have Deontay Wilder, Terence Crawford #2, Lomachenko #3, Inoue #4, 5 Canelo, 6 Usyk, 7 Estrada, 8 Errol Spence. Damn, man.
Garbage.
Y'all put Errol Spence #8. Garbage. I was okay with a list if y'all put Errol Spence on top 5.
I'm not putting Wilder #1.
Yeah, okay. Well, Wilder is a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? You're not even supposed to put him on the top. You're not pound for pound is made for fighters that's not on the pound for pound list. You inform the fans on that last show.
You can be if you are highly skilled. If you are a Muhammad Ali, for example, and you look at all of those skills would transfer, even if you were smaller. And you do, I think you can. I don't think just because it's heavyweight you can take them out there and just say that, you know what, they have this skill level, they doing that. They're not gonna have that power being at that height. But if you are that's how I look at the pound for pound. I look at your skill level and how those skills would translate throughout the weight divisions. And I'm not putting him number. So he can be in. I'll give him a top 10, but I'm not #1.
I would like to disagree.
Okay, respect. That was it.
I wouldn't say pound for pound #1. I would say top 5 pound for pound for Deontay Wilder. Mm-hmm. Definitely not pound for pound #1. I got Terence Crawford. I gave you my list.
Yeah.
You know, Terence Crawford. I think #2 I had either Pacquiao, Lomachenko. Number 3, you could put Canelo. Number 4, Errol Spence. Number 5, Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
Now
mine's a little different, slightly different.
Yeah, check out our pound for pound list. We posted on Split Decision last couple episodes. But my point is this: it's all about getting the W. If you can get the W, it don't matter how you get it, as long as you get it. Now, Deontay Wilder, I went back and watched the Ortiz fight, and I think I was overreacting. I don't know if I was too emotional.
Nah, I think
like I went back. He was losing. He lost every round. Not saying he did it.
That's what I was like.
No. I'm not saying that. Okay. But I don't think he was getting beat up. Like I thought
he wasn't. He was being smart.
Yeah, I thought Ortiz did catch him here and there. He buzzed him, but I don't think he hurt him at all. Ortiz, matter of fact, had more success the first fight, and matter of fact, Wilder, in that fight in particular, in the rematch, the way he knocked him out. I went back and watched it. He blinded him with the jab. Like he was setting him up.
He flashed it in front of him.
Not just flash it. Before that, he was like, he made sure he blinded the vision of his for like 5 seconds, I believe. And then he acted like he threw it and then caught him with the right hand, which was a perfect time punch. Now, what comes into play when you do that? Skills come into play. It ain't just power. You could have all the power in the world.
That's not that much skill.
Yeah, but listen. You could have all the power in the world, but the main thing is to deliver the punch. To get it to land is the hardest part. Now, if Wilder's able to knock out Tyson Fury in a rematch, that's so impressive because Tyson Fury has all the skills, and Wilder, it takes more than just skills to knock your opponent. A guy like Tyson Fury, a guy like Ortiz, because you got. You
mean more than power? You saying it takes more than just power?
I'm sorry, it takes more than just power because it takes. Skill on top of that, you got to have Wilder. I believe he's a great artist at painting a knockout. He set it up, and I went back and watched the fight. He was, fighting for position. He was setting Ortiz for that right hand, and he blinded him and caught him with it. And like I said, you can have all the power in the world, but if you can't land that one punch, what's the point? Wilder delivers.
The thing is, he only has to land one, and that's why his power is out there. I don't think he's that great of an artist. I think he sits there, he does this, he weighs that.
So you think
he just shoots
the paint and the picture?
Exactly. He's one of those. He's an abstract artist. He's not somebody that's like, I'm gonna walk him into this punch. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make these adjustments. This guy has never had to do that. I will say that. And we've seen him get outboxed for almost a whole fight.
I believe this. I believe Wilder take his time to draw and paint a perfect picture, right? You believe Wilder just get paint and throw it in the picture and the picture draw itself. But if he does that, that's impressive too.
Have you seen when he gets somebody hurt? Like I saw this dude actually do windmill punches in a fight. Who? This is a Wilder. I saw him like doing this. He had, I think it was Ortiz. He had him hurt. He almost ran into him. This is not somebody who is when you look at you break down his technique. You look at his footwork. Oh, he did this. He got him into this position. This guy has the dumbest power I'd ever seen. I actually got him. I got him ahead of Tyson.
Listen, Tyson had technique, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Tyson had power, but his technique delivered that punch home. Wilder, you could have that power, man, but at the elite level, you gotta have some type of skill to be able to, because it gotta be the perfect time. It gotta be the perfect distance, perfect speed, perfect eye coordination. His eye, he was focused the whole time. So I believe that people don't see Wilder's skill that what he possesses. I keep preaching. Wilder got skill to his
You're talking about all this stuff. So this is somebody who is 6'7". He's got long limbs. He's got long reach. You can't compare him to a Tyson who was 5'10", who had short arms. So it was you have to get skill just to get inside. Wilder has all these physical advantages. It's just that, you know what? He's built to hit you from long range. He doesn't have to work his way inside. He'll get outboxed. But if he touch you, you Bambi.
Boxing, every great fighter, you're supposed to study all the great fighters and uncreate your own style, for real. Like Prince Nassim Muhammad did it.
So
Mike
Wilder's
Tyson
done
did
that?
it. No, but I'm saying every fighter you got to work with your attributes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wilder definitely can't fight like Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah.
don't have them attributes.
Or Ali.
And he don't
Or
have
Lennox Lewis.
Like, for example, Tyson, right? He made the perfect style for his reach and height and all the
that was
disadvantages.
custom model. That was custom
Yeah,
model.
but he used his disadvantages and made him his advantages.
Yeah.
Wilder, yeah, he wild. Yeah, he this, but he uses his disadvantages to make his advantages. The fact that he's awkward and wild and got power make fighters hesitant because they're like, well, we don't know where it's coming from, and if he do crack me, he gonna knock me out. So I can't make zero mistakes. And like I said, it's like what Floyd says. Any mistakes you make, you have to pay. But Floyd did it his way.
That was a master.
Deontay
You talking
Wilder,
about a master boxer.
Yeah, I'm not comparing them, but I'm saying Deontay Wilder did it his way. You ain't perfect for 1 second.
Exactly.
You gonna be in Mars. Like you ain't
Exactly.
like his power is not human, it's alien. It will take you to a whole different planet. It's a whole different high. So what I'm saying is, how high can you get if you get cracked by Wilder?
Yeah.
What moon you gonna go to? And if you gonna go somewhere, can you come back to life? And that's the scary thing about Wilder.
It is.
So like I said, you gotta give that brother some credit, especially when he fighting the best.
Give that.
But
I'm just not gonna give him skill credit.
yeah, so okay. So
But like Tyson said,
we can agree to disagree.
Like Tyson
It's okay.
has one of the best quotes, and it was just everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
And Wilder sure live up to that. You know what I mean? Like what Floyd Mayweather said, everybody have a game plan till you miss your 90 punches, your first 90 punches,
And
which
then
is true.
You tired.
You tired. Deontay Wilder, everybody got a game plan till they feel that bronze bomber. You know what I'm saying? But
Bronze. Yeah.
so let's talk about this. For example. We're gonna put these two kind of together. Canelo, he had a message to the Zone on forcing him to fight GGG for the trilogy match, and he kind of upset about the delay because he was supposed to fight in September. He had to delay it to November because they didn't want him to fight nobody but Gennady Golovkin. For some reason, the Zone keep thinking this trilogy match is going to give him all these views, which is not going to happen. Y'all made horrible investment by giving Canelo Alvarez all this money, and he could pick anybody. Y'all have no say-so.
Yeah.
Now it's firing back on y'all because if he fight Triple G or anybody else, he only making slightly more money. Like, he knows it's not going to sell. They trying to tell him, hey, it's going to sell. You might get 50 million if a lot of people tune in. Mm-hmm. But Canelo's thinking, what if people don't tune in because people tired of this? Then I'm not going to get paid more. And that's a guy that's just trying to eat off of me. So I could see where he coming from, right?
Wow, but, you defending Canelo?
No, that's true. Triple G need to do something, man. Like, I want to see Canelo fight, fights that I care about, like Charlo, Andre, like, that's going to grow his brand. I'm looking out for Canelo.
Oh.
You feel me? I'm trying to see Canelo fight the best.
I didn't realize that.
Like,
my bad.
Carry yourself how a champion should be carried. Like Deontay Wilder, the way he carry himself. That's what I want Canelo to do. If every champion does that, boxing will be great again. But for the people that say this is me responding to the comment section. I just want to get this moment real quick. So all the casual fans, y'all over here coming over here talking about this. Oh, Floyd Mayweather. Oh, not Floyd Mayweather, but Deontay Wilder knocked out Ortiz, a washed-up fighter, old fighter, this and that. But you gave him credit. But when Canelo knocked out Kovalev, you gave him no credit. First of all, Ortiz was fresher than Kovalev. Kovalev been in a lot of wars, got knocked out multiple times by Andre Ward, by Alvarez, and Yard even almost had him out. And Yard never had a fight with an elite fighter, right? Meanwhile, Ortiz, the only guy that stopped him was Wilder.
The only guy that dropped him. He never been dropped.
Yeah, and that's the guy that hurt Wilder. And Ortiz is the most skillful heavyweight and the boogeyman of the division. If you don't believe me, ask Dillian White. If you don't believe me, ask AJ when he didn't want to fight him the first time. If you don't believe me, ask Tyson Fury why he didn't want to fight him. So Wilder gave him an opportunity twice because they share a common thing, which they both have daughters they trying to feed. And she have a disease where I believe
skin issue.
Yeah, which is, I I love the fact that Wilder gave him a second chance of the good of his heart. It's basically a donation. No disrespect.
Ain't no donation now. He worked for that money.
Let me tell you why. It's kind of like a donation because Wilder didn't have to fight him a second time. That's first of all. Second of all, Wilder gave him a lot of money. I believe it was $7 to $8 million. Wilder could have easily said, "Oh, I'm gonna give you 10%, 15%." Ortiz would have took whatever, but Wilder offered him, didn't lowball him anything. Gave him a big purse, just like he did to Tyson Fury, where he gave him a 50-50
He got a good heart. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So y'all can't say, "Oh, you give him the same credit," because the boogeyman of the middleweight division is Andrade and Charlo, and he ain't fighting them.
But I mean,
so he need to fight he need to carry himself like a champion does. Like Deontay Wilder is a perfect example. None of the other heavyweights willing to fight him. Tyson Fury wasn't willing to fight him. AJ wasn't willing to fight him. But he fought the most dangerous, the boogeyman of the division, twice.
But going back to Canelo though.
Canelo didn't fight.
But
he could fight anybody.
You talking about donations?
But he chooses not to fight.
He
nobody.
gave Kovalev his biggest payday when he was on the way out.
A racist person? Why would you donate to a racist person that slapped a woman in the airplane? All right, why would you donate?
That's a whole nother subject. We're not going.
I'm saying if you're going to donate to
somebody that's good.
Andre, who's been struggling. Getting can't get a fight because nobody want to fight him. Andre, been having horrible managers and this and that been taking advantage of him, right? How about donate to him?
Terribly managed career. Terribly managed career.
He could accomplish a couple things. He could unify the division, become the undisputed champion like he wants to be, and he could prove himself to all the critics and elevate his career and give a brother a shot. Payback for all that what Floyd Mayweather did, beating up all his people on the Mexican holiday. So, like I said, it's a no-brainer. It's you can't. There's no question about it. But Canelo message to DAZN. What do you think about the whole? Why is DAZN pressuring Canelo to fight Triple G, who came off a loss to Deveryachenko? Why wouldn't they push GGG versus Andrade and get the winner to fight?
Because you gotta think about casual fans. When they see that's easy to promote. Everybody knows Triple G. Andrade, I told you, I don't think Andrade is gonna sell like that. That is for these hardcore fans. It'll sell more than Andrade. I think it'll sell double of what Andrade would do. And the fact people the casual fans will know, like if you go to somebody and be like, yeah, Canelo against Triple G. Oh yeah, remember it was like a Mexican guy but if you go and say Andrade, they're gonna be like, who are you talking about? And it hurts my heart because these are when we talk about these fighters, these are people that I knew coming up not new, but like I followed coming up during the amateur ranks.
Yeah.
So like we know these people, and then when they get to a certain point, we be like, what do you mean? Like we saw this person when they had a little bit of buzz to go to world champion, but for the casual fans out there, they're gonna look at, oh, Canelo against Triple G. I remember that.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of casual fans. I'm like, oh, Canelo versus Triple G, the second time they fought.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't care about that. I'm like, why? They were like, Canelo was running all night. So the same people that were saying that, I talked to them the next day. I was like, yo, did you watch the fight? They were like, no.
What they say?
I was like, Canelo, he fought Mexican style, right? You should have watched it. They be like, for real? So after I said that, they kind of like, oh, okay. I was like, they're going to have a trilogy match. They were like, oh, no. I ain't wasting no money watching that. And I was shocked by the reaction I got from casual fans. These was not hardcore boxing fans. Now, the boxing fans, I do know they will not want to see this fight. Now, the Andrade fight.
I'm not interested in the
fight.
But
I'm saying the Andrade fight in particular, it will grow his brand. It will prove a lot of...
The Andrade, not the Charlo fight?
The Charlo fight, too. But I'm saying the Andrade fight is easier to make because it was DAZN. It will prove a lot of doubters wrong because, first of all, you're fighting a guy they said you're scared of. They fighting a guy that... a slick boxer you haven't fought since Lara and Floyd Mayweather, the guys that beat you, really. You fighting a guy that could elevate your career, and going into the fight, you could admit to this, it's going to be a 50-50 fight where people are like, oh, who's going to win? Andre probably be the favorite to a lot of hardcore boxing fans. So this is the issue that Canelo has, is if you want Floyd Mayweather to stop stealing your money, how about fight the fights that matter, which is the best versus the best, and that's what's going to grow your brand. But last topic of the day, Dillian White I don't know if you're informed. He fighting on the Ruiz versus AJ fight versus a washed up. No, not washed up fighter. His name is Witch or something like that. I don't know who he is. Now, funny enough, Dillian White, his B sample haven't came out. It will never do. But
I mean, he's a Hearns fighter.
If he
Hearn doesn't care about dirty fighters. He's doing that. He's probably trying to position him to
fight AJ.
No, I think to fight like in case Ruiz wins, because I think Hearns probably made Ruiz sign to make him fight a couple of fights under his banners. He doesn't have that.
No.
Okay.
If Ruiz wins
AJ, he's out there. Okay. Because sometimes they'll make you sign like a 3-fight deal just to get a fight. So like Bernard Hopkins had to do that with Don King when he fought Felix Trinidad.
Yeah. He had a rematch where he's forced to get a small percentage, but not
that. Okay, so that's good. So that's good management on his part. So you're right. So he's probably, if Dillian White wins, he probably sets that fight up. But Dillian White was actually supposed to have a pretty good fight that was set up, and he's popped hot. He's supposed
to fight Usyk.
Yeah,
he's supposed to because of the WBO, and I don't know who turned down what. But this is the funny part, right? Dillian White came out and said that Wilder don't have a lot of power. And Wilder, he's scared of him. Yeah. And he said Ortiz is old. But you praising whoever this guy is. The WBC ordered you to fight Ortiz. You said no. Wilder said sign with Al Heyman 1-fight deal and I will fight you. He said no. The WBC said fight Brazil and you become the mandatory. He said no. And then he pop up dirty and fight while he dirty. And the WBC suspended him from the rankings. And now he talking about Wilder scared of him. Scared of what?
Yeah,
man, he will end up putting you on the meme, man. He will put you.
You capping because you saw what AJ did to you.
Yeah, bro. Like
AJ
Wilder will touch him. I think the wind of the punch will knock Dillian White out. He delusional, man. Like, what is Dillian White saying nowadays, man? Is he okay?
Yeah.
I think, bro, his last guy that he was on drugs, he was on steroids. He fought a clean fighter with loaded glove, and that guy almost put him out in the 10th round, I believe. Mm. He almost knocked him spark out. And you talking about Wilder don't got no power? Like, this is the hate and the delusional things that's been happening in the UK. It's a lot of rubbish. They like to say that. It's a lot of rubbish. They talk a lot of rubbish. UK fans, it's a lot of good UK brothers that I respect, and you know what I'm saying, and they subscribe to my channel, but there's a lot of delusional fans. They come to my channel, Wilder scared of Dillian White. I'm like, are you informed that he just got tested positive for PEDs?
That's laughable. Yeah. But there was a rumor that Eddie Hearns tried to set up that fight.
Between who and who?
Between Wilder and White.
Wilder said, he said, I will fight you in the UK.
Yeah.
If Eddie Hearns guaranteed me an AJ fight next.
You're right about that. That's exactly.
Like, come on. That was a perfect way to stage that fight.
You right.
Get Wilder to fight Dillian White, knock him out, because that's exactly what took place, and then fight AJ.
Oh, he getting slept.
Like, but we all know what time it is now. You know, it was a great episode today.
Absolutely.
Split decision. We will go live soon, either this week coming up or the week after, and we sure gonna go live during the fight between Ruiz and AJ, so be on the lookout for that.
And that's going to be early, so just a reminder, that fight is at 3 p.m.
Yeah, so
US
that fight
time.
is early. Don't be thinking, we about to be at, 11 o'clock in the U.S., watching that fight. It's going to be 3, probably 2 o'clock when the cards start. So I don't know when the fight taking place. It might vary from 2 to 5. So we're going to make sure we're going to go live at 2. We're going to cover all the fights live. We're going to commentate and give y'all 2 cents because obviously there's a lot of biased commentary, and the referee, I don't know who he is. They brought him out the mud out of nowhere. And, AJ is definitely the A side, so we'll see if he's able to use his advantages, not just physically, but even promotionally to win the fight. So that being said, appreciate Professor Nairn. We had a great episode today. We actually were supposed to have settled the score, but ain't nothing to settle with the Lomachenko situation because Lomachenko, we had our disagreement, right? Mm-hmm. But even if we go by what you said and your logic that, okay, it was the WBC that gave him the belt, why will Lomachenko accept it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would Lomachenko say yes, I'm gonna give you 10% of my money instead of 2%, and I'm gonna take a belt that's not a championship or a title. It just doesn't make sense. And what make it worse? Every time he fought a Corolla, every time he fought a guy like that's not known, he didn't question who they fought. When it's Devin Haney, he's questioning who he fought. He not questioning, like when Salido gave him the opportunity to be great, he not trying to do that to Devin Haney when Devin Haney earned his stripe to be in that position. But Salido obviously gave him the shot. He got another shot versus Gary Russell. But at the end of the day,
you sound like you're trying to settle the score, though. I will go ahead.
Oh no, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
It's all good. It's all good.
At the end of the day, it's like Lomachenko. He make himself look bad when he accepted it. Even if the WBC gave it to him. Like, let's say that, okay, like I told you, it's the argument of the chicken or egg. Who came first? The WBC is the egg, Lomachenko the chicken. But it ain't even about that. Let's say the WBC gave him the belt. Why would you accept a belt that's not a championship, that's not a title, and give up 10% of your purse? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's not a quality of a champion. Deontay Wilder didn't do that, and he got, 10 title defenses now. He is super champion, really, if you want to call him that. So, anyways, he earned your
champion emeritus.
Wilder earned his stripe like you earned your stripe to be a professor. You've been in this game for too long, Professor Nim.
Not only that, though, but
you've been teaching. Hey, Professor Nim can't get fired. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't care what you say about him. He in the school. He could.
we cut that out. We cut that out.
But I'm saying,
we try to get our sponsors
Wilder
right.
Earned his stripe by defending his title 10 times. Professor Nim earned his stripe by teaching for almost 10 years, so he can't get fired. You know what I mean? So credit to him. Lomachenko didn't earn his stripe. Canelo didn't earn his stripe. It's all I'm saying. You with Deontay Wilder, you belong in that bracket. Lomachenko and Canelo belong in the other bracket. You know what I'm saying? They over there somewhere. You over there somewhere. So that's all. I mean,
they're on the hope list. We understand that. People who know about the nuances, we understand that.
Yeah. So appreciate Professor Nim. Always great to have you. You know what I'm saying? And we had a great time. And obviously, we can't wait for fight night. I can't wait every time.
Y'all December the 7th. Boy, it'll be there. Plug in. We're trying to get 20,000 views. 20, 30,000. What we trying to get?
Yeah, we trying to get 100. Stop, because we keep it 100, so we got to get 100. Hey, and we obviously got a new host, so we got a little. We're
gonna step up. Yeah, we got a little eye candy. We're gonna go live and all that. So we definitely stepping up the production game. Y'all keep tuning in. Like, give us a little bit of time, and we really gonna build this show up. We appreciate all the comments, good and bad. I love when they're substantive, when y'all give good arguments. And y'all I do want to, so we joke around a lot and stuff. I do want to say,
y'all got to get our humor. Like.
Yeah. I want to say,
sometimes we be intense. Sometimes
it is though. It's all respect though. I want to say somebody, because we joke, but sometimes you want to do recognize something serious. Somebody that's no longer with us. I want to give it out to Mo Fire. I don't know. I think I bodied him one time on it was a commenter, and I bodied him and then just we lost him, man.
I thought you said Mo Safa for a second.
I
thought you watched
Mo Fire.
But anyways, if you are Lions only, if you are Canelo only, if you Duck Season only, whoever you is, subscribe below. If you're trying to get smarter by the minute, if you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't, and listen to these casual fans. And peace, Professor Nim. You know this is my favorite time of the week, huh?
Why? And the heck gonna say? I don't got time for the hate. I need more time in my day. I put the ice on my bay. Yeah, you riding on me. I get my drip overseas.